Hi, I'm Sandra Dubas, and I'm going to be your guide today for your forest bathing experience. I'm an integrative wellness coach, and I'm trained in yoga, somatic therapy, and wellness coaching. My mission is to help you find soul-nourishing self-care that you can practice without guilt. Forest bathing is one of those experiences that can really help calm your nervous system, connect you to nature, clear your mind. There's so many benefits. Forest bathing in Japanese is called shinrin-yoku, and it's really intended to be a mindful, very heart-centered nature experience. The tone as you go through this practice remains sacred, slow, it's rooted in presence, and it's really aligned with your heart. So this practice is really about immersing yourself in nature and mindfully engaging all your senses with your surroundings. I'm going to share a little bit of some statistical data about the benefits of forest bathing, and then we'll begin our experience. Interestingly, studies have shown that spending time in nature, particularly engaging in this experience of forest bathing, offers many benefits, both physical and as far as mental well-being. And here's the really interesting thing that I learned as I've been studying forest bathing. When we spend time with trees, you're exposed to a chemical called phytoncides. These are airborne chemicals that trees actually release to protect themselves from insects and diseases. These chemicals, these phytoncides, when we inhale them as humans, can actually have positive effects on our human health, such as boosting our immune system and reducing stress. So it's just incredible to me to think that there's this chemical, this natural airborne chemical that trees are releasing to protect themselves, and it's actually good for us. So it's not just woo-woo when you hear people say that spending time in nature is really good for you. Some of the positive benefits of forest bathing include stress reduction, improved mood and overall well-being, enhanced cognitive function, reducing feelings of isolation. I find that really interesting, given that sometimes we may go into the forest alone, but we're not really alone because the trees are actually living beings along with all of the other creatures that are there with you in nature. Some of the physical benefits of forest bathing include boosting your immune system, lowering your blood pressure and your heart rate, reducing inflammation, and some say even it improves sleep. So why wouldn't you want to spend time with the trees? So we're about to step into the forest. And I just want to say that you may be watching this experience or listening to it from this beautiful property, Sunlit Retreats. You may be staying here on site and you're using this guided tool to help you experience forest bathing. Or you may have been at Sunlit and had this experience and you just want to bring it back. You may be sitting in your home on a snowy winter day in January and you wish that things were green and growing and beautiful, such as this beautiful September day. Wherever you're coming from in this experience, I want you to be able to just listen, take it all in, either walk through the experience with me, or maybe you close your eyes and you recall a moment that you had this experience forest bathing, or you just let your imagination take you into a forest. Either way, I hope you enjoy this experience. And so we're about to step into the forest, and I'm going to guide you through that. And I want to remind you that this isn't for exercise. We are not trying to reach any destination. We're simply having the experience of just being. I want you to just be. I want you to be in this experience with nature and maybe notice some things that you wouldn't otherwise notice if you were just out for a vigorous walk. So shinrin-yoku, this forest bathing, it's the practice of bathing in the forest atmosphere. Shinrin-yoku, this practice of forest bathing, is a Japanese practice of bathing in the forest atmosphere. So no, we're not taking a bath in the forest, but we're going to be immersed in the beauty and all of those phytoncides of the forest. So remembering, spending time in the forest, this is not something to do. It is something that we receive. So let's begin this process slowly together. I'll invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We leave behind the rush. Let the forest hold what you no longer need to carry. Take this moment to set a quiet intention, asking yourself, what would you like to receive from the forest today? As we begin walking, move slowly, as if the earth is sacred beneath your feet. No need to talk, no need to analyze. Just walk and sense and let your eyes wander. Let your breath soften. The forest is your companion now. As we begin walking and entering the forest, move slowly, as if the earth is sacred beneath your feet. There's no need to talk, no need to analyze. Just walk and sense. Let your eyes wander around. Let your breath soften. The forest is your companion now. As you move along, you can pause at intervals and embrace these gentle invitations that I'll offer you. You can always press pause and linger, taking your time. Find a place to pause. Notice the air on your skin. What do you hear? What do you smell? What textures can you notice around you? Let your senses be your guide. Continue walking. Find a tree to stand or sit near it. Breathe in with the tree. Imagine it exhaling oxygen and you receiving it. Exhale and offer your breath in return. A quiet exchange, breath to breath, being to being. Continue walking. Try walking as silently and slowly as possible, as if you were moving through sacred ground and you don't want to disturb a sleeping forest. What changes when you walk this way? What do you notice that you didn't notice before? Practicing the art of noticing. Choose something very small. Perhaps notice a tiny insect, a pattern on a leaf, the way the sunlight flickers through a branch. Sit with it and watch it as if it were a piece of art, alive and full of a story. Let yourself be changed by simply paying attention, by noticing, practicing the art of noticing. Perhaps you pick something and without disturbing it, gently touch textures around you. The bark of a tree, a stone, the edge of a leaf. What does each texture feel like beneath your fingers? Can you feel it with your whole being, not just your hand? Continue walking. Let your eyes follow any movement. Perhaps it's the sway of a branch, the path of a bird, the flight of a butterfly, the scamper of a squirrel, or perhaps it's the rhythm of your breath. Notice how the forest is never truly still, and yet it's never rushed. Breathe in deeply and notice the forest scent. Is it earthy? Is it sweet? Is it cool or dry? How does your breath change when you breathe with this awareness? Continuing your walk, slowly into the forest. Pause and slowly turn around. Look behind you, as if you're seeing the forest for the first time again. An aspect of the forest that was unnoticed just moments ago. Continue walking, following your curiosity. If you are drawn to something, a path, a sound, a beam of light, follow it slowly. Let your feet be guided by wonder. There's really no wrong direction. This curiosity is sacred. Pause and linger and take in this moment and breathe. Kneel or sit on the earth if you feel called to do so. Continuing on your walk, on your journey through the forest. If you could speak to the forest without words, what would you say? What would the forest whisper back to you? Ask yourself, what part of this forest reflects how I feel inside? Maybe it's a quiet pool, or maybe it's a tangle of branches, or it's the blue open sky. Let the forest mirror something within you and just simply notice it. Pausing for a moment. Imagine the forest is looking at you, but it's noticing you. If the trees could speak to your soul, what would they say about your presence today? As you continue to walk, begin to notice the shadows. Notice the dance of light and the shadows on the ground or on the trees. What are the shadows showing you? What parts of yourself have been hidden, waiting to be gently seen? Continuing our slow walk. Perhaps you pause and choose a plant, a tree, or a stone that feels safe. Silently offer a prayer, a wish, or a blessing. Perhaps it's for yourself or someone you love. You don't necessarily need words. Just know that the forest this natural, living, breathing presence. It understands the language of your heart. I invite you to kneel or sit on the earth if you feel called to do so. Place your hands gently on the ground. Feel the pulse of life beneath you. Offer gratitude. Let the earth remind you of your belonging. Continue walking, slowly taking in all that's around you, bathing in the life force of the forest. Indigenous people believe that trees and animals are not objects. They're living beings. Notice what it feels like to look at the forest from this lens. Walking amidst living beings. As you continue to walk along, look for something naturally falling. A leaf, a petal, perhaps a feather. And as it falls, let it symbolize something you're ready to release. And let it go as gently as the forest. What is it that you'd like to leave behind? What is it that you're carrying the forest can take for you? And what is it that you're receiving? Close your eyes for a few moments. Listen not with your ears, but with your whole being. How many layers of sound can you detect? Birds, leaves falling or rustling, insects? Is there any wind? Let the forest compose a symphony of sound for you. Basking in its music, in its harmony. Taking it all in, every little bit. Continuing our journey of walking and noticing, releasing, receiving. Let the forest embrace you and calm you. And bring harmony back to your soul. Before we complete our journey, perhaps you find some object along the way, a natural object that feels like a symbol for this experience. Perhaps it's a beautiful fallen leaf or a stone or a feather. And maybe you carry it with you as a physical reminder of what you received in the forest today. Thanking the forest for its presence, for its beauty, and for its wisdom. Let us slowly begin to return from the forest, not as the person who entered, but as one who has been touched by its presence. Take a moment to turn and glance behind you, remembering the journey and all its blessings. Turning back around and looking forward. And before we close and leave the forest, I invite you to place a hand on your heart or on the earth and silently thank the forest for what it offered you. When we step back into the world, we will carry this stillness with us. When you step back into the world, carry this stillness, this peace, this harmony in your soul with you. I hope that you enjoyed this forest bathing experience. If you'd like to learn more about the work I do or the programs I offer, I lead retreats here at Sunlit. I also do group coaching and run a program called Self-Care Boot Camp. You can find me at sondradubas.com. It's SONDRADUBAS, sondradubas.com. And you can also find me under that name on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I hope you had an amazing experience.